and welcome Echoes to Once Upon a Reflection episode 17, I think, at this point. Wow. I'm Evie, the Disaster GM. My pronouns are she, they, or any. I'm the director of Altered Echo Archives and the GM for this fine disastrous group. We are currently missing Joel today. Joel had some real life obligations that they needed to take care of. So they'll be back next time. And let's just kind of jump over to Amanda. You get to go first today.
Hey everyone, my name is Amanda. Use she, her pronouns. Today I will be playing Rosa and Thorn, the resilient explorer wild princess who masters the swarm.
Wonderful. And Alina, who we were missing last week.
Hey, I'm back, y'all. I am Alina. I'm they, them, and I will be playing Vrak and Sev, who they're also they, them, and they are a charming trickster who wears a crown of ice. And just a hot mess. I don't know if that's an actual descriptor, but it definitely works.
I think all of you qualify as hot mess. It's entirely possible.
Just different kinds of hot messes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much. I mean, one of you is a Chihuahua. One of you is an old rescued Chihuahua. So that's
Chihuahuas are just a hot mess.
yeah, that is the hot mess of dogs. Once Upon a Reflection runs every other week on Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Pacific, or 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. I totally am able to get times correct and stuff. I've been doing this for years, can you tell? Barring any potential interruptions due to scheduling and or holidays and such. As we do simulcast, don't forget to follow if you're watching via Twitch. Go ahead and join our realm, the archives, if you're watching on Moonbeam, or if you are watching on YouTube, which seems to be working today. YouTube is our most finicky of the multi-streams. Go ahead and like and subscribe so that you can be notified when we go live for this or other games. You may notice from our overlay that we are raising funds for the Trans Women of Color Collective, TWOCC. There we go. Now I can totally spell. The Trans Women of Color Collective has a mission to uplift the narratives and leadership and lived experiences of trans and gender non-conforming people of color while building toward the collective liberation of all oppressed people. Hundreds, possibly 1,000, I really don't know. I need to look that up again. Of anti-trans bills have been proposed across the country just this year. We are almost halfway through, but that's still way too fucking much. Basically, check out their site, which is in the description or chat, depending on where you are watching. Donate if you can. Just kind of spread the word. Do what you can. AEA and its affiliates receive no portion of the funds that are donated via the Tiltify link. With all of that out of the way, let's actually just go ahead and roll into focusing on tonight's session. As a content warning, we at the Archives would like to remind you that this is an adult content rated game with depictions of violence and gore, possible mentions of loss or trauma, and or similar content. We do our best not to cross each other's lines, but for those watching, you have been warned. Last time, after having had a brief break from events in both sides of the reflection, I guess we'll call it. We had both Thorn and Senor Fluffington find their way back to Fairy Tale Land from where they happen to live and do their own daily lives and things in New Bastion in the real world. Thorn might have gotten trapped in a well when they went through the wrong reflection, because they saw some looming shadows that might have been trees, might have been something else, and a clear sky above. And then it was a well, not trees, not a forest. But they were in the middle of a town, eventually joined by someone that they discovered had also transitioned from the real world into fairy tale world, but was not one of the chosen. Nan, possibly 40 something, was hard to tell, woman with tiny fairy wings, helped to get Thorin out of the well, decided to show them around, happened to also be carrying a bag of a variety of things that also happened to exist in the real world in with them, and went for burgers, sandwiches, something at the local tavern, while Senor Fluffington happened to notice an old foe turning the corner in the middle of the town. This town being one of the small towns that are near the castle of the White family, the Snow White family, known as White Castle, which Nan had been very amused by, and thus has been slowly converting the tavern into making onion-flavored hamburgers and fried potatoes as an actual White Castle in the fairy tale world. It's been a long process, but they're working. Yeah, they're working on it. But Thorn and Nan both chased after Senor Fluffington, who had moved into wolf form, to track down. Yeah, Nan may have invented White Castle in Fairy Tale Land, but tracked down this old foe to an apothecary shop in Brookside, and discovered that it was probably the Thorn Hag, the very first hag that you guys actually fought. A combat did ensue in which they discovered that the hag was somewhat confused and surprised by the fact that they could even see her. But after a little bit of back and forth, a little bit of injury where they discovered that those cuffs are definitely working in their favor, the hag was just like, I'm done with this, and quite literally blasted out of there as a living tornado. Deciding to recover and check things out in the apothecary, they asked, or Senor Fluffington asked, Bongo, the apothecary, if he happened to know anyone named Juan. Bongo did not know anyone named Juan. And for some reason decided to ask where the apothecary had learned about plants, and if those people that had taught him about plants might know a Juan, which the question was, I don't know. And in doing so, just to get them out of the shop that had now been ruined by the tornado as it was summoned and during the fight, they were given a very shoddily drawn map by Bongo the half-gnome to go and find his forest gnome uncles somewhere in the woods, to ask said uncles if they know Juan. And also to potentially identify the herbs that the hag was attempting to buy for whatever purpose. They went and decided to stay the night / recover in one of the local inns where Nan tends to stay, and took advantage of the room that she has there as just kind of reserved on the side for her use when she happens to pop by. Nan has since wandered off because she did have her own obligations to be seen to, and left Senor Fluffington and Thorn alone there. Thorn, yeah, it takes one to know one. Thorn, you find yourself with a now sleeping and foot occasionally kicking Senor Fluffington curled up on the bed, having, dug at the covers a little bit, as dogs do. And there is a large reflective steel mirror on the wall in this room that they kept on hand for Nan's use, that you have at your disposal. What would you like to do?
I have a feeling that Fluffy has kicked me out of the bed just like slowly over the nights. So as I'm laying there, afternoon.
Yeah.
So as I'm sitting there, I'm just like, well, Fluffy was pretty exhausted after that fight, so I'm gonna go check in on Brack.
Yeah.
I decide because I'm not napping. I didn't really take any damage or anything
Yeah,
during the fight.
Fluffy went to impaired for our player that was not around because the hag had awakened a variety of objects around that unfortunately your cuffs do not protect you against, and took a small number of damage from that as well as using abilities. So yeah, it was
For being enough to take me out entirely, so
yeah, had
good.
to
Glad I wasn't there.
yeah, had to you know get a little bit of rest in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so are you going to attempt to locate Sev, Vrax's alternate, through the mirror, or are you going to just go through and use your cell phone to call them?
I want to attempt to find Sev first, and if that doesn't work, then I'm just going through and seeing where it takes me.
Okay, let's go ahead and have you make a roll then to see how well you manage to use the reflection scry.
What is that? That is that's a that's a nat one.
That's a nat one. You see yourself in the mirror.
Oh,
You
I
didn't
think
even
this mirror
manage
like
to activate it. It's
I was
just
like, oh, this is broken. Hello?
yeah, it's
And I
a
just
it's a
knock
mirror.
on it.
Yeah, it's a
Oh.
mirror.
Huh, I've never had one just not work before. That's weird. Hmm. So I'm gonna I shouldn't wake Fluffy up, but I feel like I don't feel comfortable leaving Fluffy by themselves.
Mhm.
So I'm going to attempt to leave a note for Fluffy.
Okay.
Or I will leave a note for Fluffy, and then I'll also tell the tavern inn owner, whoever that is. I was like, if you see like a dog person, can you send them a message? Because they're probably not going to be able to read my message for them
Okay.
about
Yeah.
where I'm
Yeah.
going. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Where are
yeah.
you going that you need me
Um,
to tell them?
just let them know I'm going to the other place, and they'll know what I mean.
All right. Friend and Nans is a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Um, then I'm going to go back to the well.
And
I'm
just
gonna since
jump into the well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
know that that's a pathway, so
It is a reflective surface. Yes, it is. All right. So you're gonna walk through the town.
mm-hmm.
Still, like you have been dried off via Senor Fluffington's use of hedge magic, but you still have a little bit of algae in your hair.
Mm-hmm.
You are at least full from the somewhat cold food after the fight, but yeah, you're heading for a nice, cold, dingy semi bath.
Yeah.
All right. So it is an easy task to jump in. You have been in before.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
This time I want if there's still like a rope or something, I want to tie it to like the. I'm assuming there's like an
okay.
awning or something. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a
Yeah.
crossbar because it is meant to be
Mm-hmm.
used as a well.
Yeah.
Um,
I vaguely remember breaking the bucket last time, so.
you broke the rope that the bucket was attached to
Oh, okay.
because it was also a nat one.
Mm-hmm.
You guys roll a lot of those. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yes, you can do that. If you are going to attempt to use a rope to slow your descent and make this a little bit easier on you, I will need a might check for climbing slash well
Okay.
spelunking.
All right. That's a 12.
A 12. Not bad. Like, you do manage to get it fairly well secured, and while the sides of the well are fairly slippery and slick, you don't fall. You get a few funny looks, but at this point, you guys have already kind of spread through the town as let's just leave these people alone. Ever since Nan had to fish you first out of the well, and then the big fight with a resulting tornado at the local apothecary. So people leave you alone as you go down. You get some very strange looks. And it takes a minute or so for the surface of the water, once you get all the way to the bottom, to settle so that it can actually reflect things, because there was the initial ripples of you dropping down.
Mm-hmm.
A 12 is unfortunately not good enough for you to just kind of hover above the water waiting.
So I just go into the water.
Yeah, you just like, you're about knee high, a little bit higher than knee high. Yeah. So
okay, it's not bad.
Yeah. The reason why the entirety of your body got covered previously was because you had rolled that nat one when trying to climb up and had fallen like ass over tea kettle back in.
Because this is downright pleasant now, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. So go ahead and I guess make another attempt to either scry on Vrac or reappear at whatever location you wish to transition to.
I love that the town is now going to be like, Thorn, the elf of the well.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a 1, it was a 3.
Oh, God.
It's a 3. Are you attempting to scry or are you attempting to use passage?
That was a scry.
Okay. You...
I'm determined to make scrying work.
You think you see something. It's kind of a hazy shadow and weird dark to the sides, and for a second you're just like, oh, is it really focusing? And then you realize it's again your reflection in the well. It's just harder to see because you're all the way down a well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so plan B is just going through and seeing where I end up.
Okay. So passing through
Let
does
it
require a roll. Where you
I rolled a
end
17
up,
anyway.
where you end up determines a roll. You have not been to Vrax or Sevs. Are you going instead to your place? Are you going to that park? Where are you trying to end up? Because a 17 is definitely good enough.
I'd probably just go to my apartment.
To your apartment? Okay,
Cool.
yeah. So, oddly, you are still a little damp. Your, like, pants are still a little damp when you squeeze through the mirror in your bathroom. That still has a little bit of lipstick smudge from when Sev had been kind of crashing at your place just mildly, trying to find you the last time you guys failed to end up in the real world together. But you are successfully home.
Right, I ate all your cheese and I drew on your mirror in lipstick.
Yeah.
And to myself, I'm thinking, it's like, man, we really got to stop eating like this.
Yeah. So you are slightly damp. You are at your place. Your phone and everything would be on and available because it was only maybe a day-ish, not even a full 24 hours that you were gone. So it would still be holding its charge while you stand there mildly damp in your bathroom.
First thing I want to do is text Sev, say, hey, you free today? Gotta update you on some stuff. And then while I'm waiting to hear back, I'm going to go change.
Yeah, that tracks. Okay.
No, actually, right. Several texts back after a while to be like delete delete, and then you up me?
Yes? Question mark?
Well, I mean, if you want to come over. dot dot dot.
Yeah. And then ... Where do you live?
Am I home right now? I've been out playing concerts.
That is entirely up to you.
Sure, I'm gonna say yeah. It's in between gigs, so we're just back at the apartment.
Okay.
And I'll just send over an address.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think we had originally placed you somewhere in like high northeast New Bastion, like close to the college, the university that's in New Bastion, but not like in the actual dorm areas.
No, it's that like area of many roomed student housing ringing around the campus, and it's a mix of nice homes and not so nice homes, but the rent is really cheap.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So, being very familiar with where the university is, you'd be able to fairly easily know where to go. Um, I don't remember if we ever established this, but does Rosa drive or does Rosa take the bus?
I think we established that Rosa took the
Okay.
bus.
So yeah, there's a couple of routes that
Cool.
you'd be able to
Yeah.
take fairly easily.
Yeah.
I mean, that
I mean,
is
getting
a
to the
fairly
university on
populated
bus
area. Yeah, that is a
can be
fairly populated area and
Yeah.
easy to get to. So yeah. So changed and
not a one of us drives.
yeah, that tracks. That tracks. Yeah.
I
Very
think
good.
I think Rosa could drive. She just doesn't want to.
Yeah. Cars are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Parking is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I think Vrac would love to be able to drive a motorcycle, but they have never driven a single thing.
That also tracks. Knowing
Yeah, I imagine
knowing
Rosa does have.
Sev's history, that really tracks.
Yeah.
I imagine Rosa actually does have a driver's license, but just
Ooh, fancy.
lives in an area that just she doesn't need it.
It's much easier to just take public transport.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, you make it out. What would you say this no longer really a dorm house looks like? What does Rosa see or notice as she approaches?
I mean, the first thing you would notice is this house is not in good repair. Weeds growing up through the cracked sidewalk. There's, the siding's really full of like moss and cracks, and it hasn't been painted in ages. The windows aren't broken or anything, but like several of them have flags. There's a huge pride flag with all of the symbols on it in the front window. Another of the windows is it's got like garbage bags taped over it.
Yeah.
Like you look at this house and you're like, oh, students live there, but also they're stoners,
Mm-hmm.
probably.
I'm like, oh, it's condemned, but it's gay. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine. There's probably from the basement windows, there's actually like that pink insulation foam up over
Mm-hmm.
most of the windows. But you can still hear, despite that, you can still hear the like low thump, 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 thump of somebody playing the drums. Somebody's like practicing in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
It feels very crack house to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it super does. I've been to band houses like this before.
Which, knowing what crack houses are actually like, disclaimer, not having been to one, but having worked in industries where I've seen pictures of what they're actually like, that is not actually what they're like. But according to the media, like it's giving that what daytime TV thinks a crack house looks like.
It's
For
giving.
me, it's giving 20-something gamers band together to be roommates and don't know how to upkeep a house
And are possibly squatting.
and are possibly squatting because they all make maybe $500 combined.
I totally feel like that like one of the living spaces isn't actually like a up to code living space, but the actual landlord just like doesn't care. They just want as many people living in the house
absolutely.
as possible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what it looks like as you're walking up. There's probably someone lounging on the steps smoking, but they don't live there.
Yeah.
They're just hanging out.
And while you have seen at least one poster of Sev's band, like you are vaguely familiar with them, so you would know that that is not one of the band members. You are not
Some-
sure who
Somebody.
all works with them.
I just kind of shuffle up to the I'm like, hey, man.
Yeah, so
Sev around?
who?
Sev. And then I give a description of what Sev looks like.
Oh, yeah, hair. Inside, I think. I don't know.
Okay, thanks, bro. And I just kind of pat him on the shoulder as I like go up the stairs into the house.
Okay, cool. Tell Veronica I'm here. There's no one
Will
named
do.
Veronica there.
I didn't think there would be.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I
it's a
imagine he's
little
saying
bit
that like I am
as
inside the house by
yeah.
this point.
Yeah.
The door is not locked.
So you just go in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
People come and go at all hours.
Yeah. So there's some people hanging out in what seems to be a combination den, living room, maybe occasional practice space slash pseudo house party. At the moment it's not like full raging house party, but there's enough socialization and possibly 3-day-old pizza in that location that it seems like something's going on.
Also, at least the band members who are scattered around the house randomly. But the crowd is very aggressively queer metalheads.
Yeah.
So, various flavors of trans and queer, and just everybody has piercings and tattoos and weird hairstyles and all kinds of colors of hair. Lots and lots of band t-shirts from other bands.
Yeah, you see like the occasional either pizza box or food container among the various not quite party goers, just kind of they're all mostly just kind of lounging around together. That seems to come from like one of the local vegan delivery places, and it's not just the 3-day-old pizza. You see a little bit more of an eclectic collection of food, but all of the bottles of alcohol looked super fucking cheap.
Just how I like it.
Discount bin special, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I am feeling a little out of place. Like I'm just like completely just the normie, just showed up in like just
How are you dressed?
I'm literally wearing like a regular just jeans, like not even like flared or like not skinny, just regular ass jeans. Like I probably have on like a pair of like athletic like Adidas, like not even cool Adidas, like the actual like
Good.
runners that I wear that I wore at my old job.
Yeah.
And she probably just has on just like a t-shirt and like a hoodie, and like it's not, it just looks like it's just kind of she wears it, but it's not like fashionable, it's not styled. She has one nose piercing and that's it. Like,
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah.
yeah. She has no tattoos to speak of. She's always been afraid of getting getting infected from where she works, so she's never gotten inked.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a location that you've got to be careful of. Though, also, there are very few vet techs that I have ever met that are not inked somewhere.
Oh yeah, no.
Just as a personal note.
Most vet techs I know have full sleeves, like just straight up.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
Rosa hasn't gotten that far.
Rose,
so.
yeah, Rose is just a little anxious about it. Yeah. I get it.
Rose is a little anxious about everything. Let's be real.
Aww.
We've noticed. Yeah. But yeah. So, Seb, where would you say you are among all of this?
I'm just gonna randomize. I have
knowing that
I have
Rosa is coming by.
3 different ideas of where Sev is in the middle of this chaos, and I'm just gonna give a little roll here. Oh, okay. No, they're in their bedroom. They're not out partying. They are so if they're in their bedroom, Sev is probably got like a big set of sound canceling headphones on. They probably got their like hood pulled up over their head and their comfiest like sweats and just a tank top on. And they're just like lying on their mattress on the floor,
Okay.
listening to music with their eyes closed.
Give me a luck roll to see how quickly you happen to find this person that is in a room of the house that you've never been in before.
Let's go. 14.
14. Not bad.
Not bad.
That's pretty good, actually. So like you do check the wrong door at least once, and it is not like what you would fear at a college party of like two people hooking up. It's actually a couple people that seem to be like debating over music theory and like the composition of something that they have in the works, which is strange when paired with metal, but is actually extremely applicable.
That is the most metalhead
Yeah,
discussion I've ever heard.
it is very applicable.
So, yeah.
But it's like just this full on. They are in the middle of an intense debate over like the beat pattern and composition of something that they are working on, and arguing with each other over the table a couple of cold slices of pizza, what looks like Thai food, and like an entire pack of beers that seems to have been gone through.
Oh god, that sounds like the drummer and the bassist. The two
Well,
most like
I feel like they
concerned with a good
turn
beat.
like without skipping a beat. I feel like they would turn and ask Rosa a question about music theory, and she just like, I'm just gonna head out, and then they just continue on like it's not even.
Perfect. But after that, you would be able to find Sev's room.
So I kind of knock first, and I don't hear anything, so I kind of peek through, and hello.
Got their headphones
Anyone?
on.
They're lying. They've got their headphones and their sunglasses on inside in a darkened room.
Okay, I feel like at this point I'm like, okay, this is set.
The hair is very distinctive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got that,
even
like,
with the hood
red hair
on,
with the
there's just I just see
look. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Spikes.
Yeah. Like, are you back away from the door, or like how is it? How are you set
Okay.
up,
So
positioned?
Seb's room, I imagine. You know, piles of dirty clothes. There's some weirdly, so there's areas of the room that have like flags and sheets tacked up over them, and you're like, oh, there was probably a full-length mirror there. And you can maybe see the outlines of it underneath. There's just the general clutter of someone who doesn't clean up after themselves. And then their bed is like a mattress on the floor with black sheets and a couple of like random body pillows. Just it's very I have not put any money into this room, but there is one corner of the room that is almost immaculate, that all of the mess has been shoveled away from, and that is an area with a comfortable chair and 2 or 3 guitars on stands, one of which is the one that Vrac always has in Fairyland. That sort of like electric yellow and pink, very, very iconic guitar. So like if that's here, that must be Sev.
Totally.
So I come in, hey Sev, and I try to like, I don't want to scare you, so I'm trying to be very like, get your attention that there's someone in the room with you.
Yeah, it'll take a minute because like when Sev's zoning out, I'm sure they zone out pretty far. But their roommates come in and yell at them for a while, and it's just normal. And eventually they'll be like, "Huh? Oh, Rosa, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How the fuck did you find me?"
Lucky guess, honestly. I think I met
Huh.
the bassist and the drummer. They were talking about stuff that I had no idea. Something about
Um,
polyrhythms and like
oh
hitting like
yeah,
every
yeah, yeah.
3/8 beat or something. I don't
No,
know.
that's just shooting the shit. They always do that. Like that's pretty normal.
Yeah,
Every song.
yeah. But yeah, I it wasn't too hard. Also, a guy up front said to tell Veronica that he's out there, but I don't think he knows
I mean, I
where
don't
he
know.
is.
I don't know if it's here right now. I
Hmm.
know some of them got like some folks over, but it's not really my scene, so I'm just filling in here. Just need to like power down a little bit. It's been a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you have no idea.
Yeah. So you're back?
Yeah, so I left Fluffy. Fluffy's fine, just first off. I left them over on the other side. They got pretty um exhausted and a little hurt. Fluffy decided that it would be a 2v1 against a hag again.
Whoa. Okay. All right. Hang on. And Sev will roll up off the bed and come over and like pull you into the room to sit
Mm-hmm.
down on the bed. And then open the door, just make sure there's nobody like lingering out in the hallway, and
Mm-hmm.
just throw a sock on the door handle, close it, just because we need
Yeah.
some private talks right now.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I should probably back up a little bit. Um,
And then they'll come and join you on the bed and like
mhm,
kind of wake themselves up and hey, yeah, 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 yeah. So like
mhm.
what? Well, everybody's alive, right? Like you didn't get like
Everyone's alive.
cool,
Apothecary shop
cool.
we were in, it's maybe destroyed, but hopefully it's not too bad. I apologize. Try to help clean up a little bit, but so there's been some developments. We met someone who she kind of looks like a sitcom mom. You know what I mean? Like from the 90s.
Like a hot one or like not a hot mom?
She's kind of a MILF, let's be real here.
Cool,
She
cool, cool,
was
cool, cool. I'm with you. I'm
yeah,
with you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um yeah, and she had like a big like almost like a carpet bag full of stuff from the real world.
Huh.
She can travel back and forth with her stuff.
Shit. We just figured out that I can do that, right? Like at least my
Yeah, with your
guitar.
guitar.
So
Yeah.
it's like a
So
part of me or
apparently
something.
yeah, I guess other people can do it and I mean to be fair, I've never tried personally, but
God, she must have a lot of
apparently
things that are like part of her, because that's a like how
yeah.
many things do you care about, like really, in a
Well, I
day?
remember she pulled out like an address book and was trying to give me an address of somebody that she knows, and
Like on
that
this
was
side of
what.
things?
She
Like
also
on
pulled
this side of things?
she also pulled out a cell phone, a
Yeah, a
variety
cell phone,
of pocket candy type stuff. So like Jolly Ranchers mixed with
like
like
there's
cough
a
drops.
Werther's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Werther's, Jolly Ranchers, cough drops, lifesavers, all mixed together, like wrapped in paper and plastic and
Woman
stuff.
loves some candy.
Yeah, and like knitting needles and some yarn. Those are the
Hmm.
variety of things that you saw her pull out.
Yeah, and she had it all with her, and she says she has no issues bringing it back and forth between.
Um,
So
your understanding from her attempting to explain it to you while getting you settled in the inn was that while the bag was what she initially brought over with her and her knitting needles, it was like as she learned about that and figured it out, it simply takes effort to like effectively in that moment view something as part of you and part of what is necessary to transition from one place to the other. You don't know how easy it is to do, but that's the best way that she was able to really explain it to you or that you were able to understand it.
Yeah, so the good news is that it's possible, but I mean, I don't know how to do it. I haven't quite figured that out myself.
Cool, 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 cool. So, I want to meet her at some point, especially if she's like fucking milfy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, she's from Brookside. Was that the name of the village that we
Yeah.
were in?
So you were in Brookside,
Brookside,
and
yeah.
she was hanging out there. You don't know if she
Yeah.
actually lived there because she did say
But
that she was also from the real world.
but she goes there often enough. Everyone seems to know who she is. So that's kind of why I figured she's trustworthy because everyone seems to trust her. So
so like, she's from that side of things, or she's from here?
she's from she seems like she's from here.
Huh.
But she's not a guardian. I asked her about that and she said she had no idea what that was. So
I mean, a lot of people from here go, right? Like, I went
yeah,
and
this
lived
is
there
just
for
the
like
first time that
2 years, and I wasn't like a guardian or some shit.
mhm, that's true. But
Okay,
yeah, no,
so like,
she was super cool. Like she's trying to establish a like a burger franchise over there.
like fucking Burger King, but like actually a king? Because that fairy tale could go
more
fucking weird. That could go
more
off.
like a castle that's also white, if you know what I mean.
Oh shit! Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
That would, yeah.
Hashtag not
There's like a
sponsored.
legend about that and
Hashtag not
shit.
sponsored.
No.
But then so we were just like hanging out with her, and then Fluffy like freaked out, and then became like his big werewolf, and then they tracked down the hag, and the hag seemed shocked to see us.
Like the hag, like the one we fought.
The thorn hag, like the one that we fought the first time.
Oh, the first one, not like the death one.
No, not the death one, the first one.
Okay.
Seemed like she didn't expect us to see her there
Huh. Well, I mean, she
much at
might have thought we
all.
were dead, right? Like, cause like,
Well, no, because she left us alive when she left, and she kind of did the same thing again, where she was just like, I'm done with this," and just kind of like noped out of there. But
that good?
oh, I just remembered that so yeah, Fluffy was being attacked by these things that the hag had like brought to life. The good news is that the bracelets that were gifted to us, they're really effective against the hag, but not those things though. So Fluffy got pretty hurt. But it was okay
Oh,
because
is he okay? They're,
Fluffy's
are
fine.
they doing all
He's
right?
they're recovering. I left them at the
Okay.
tavern to
Did you like,
recover.
did you like vet them up or whatever?
They just needed to sleep it off,
Oh, okay,
honestly.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Um Nan pulled out a rifle from
What?
her purse and
What?
shot the hag.
Oh, shit, man. I didn't know guns worked on that side of things.
Didn't know that either, but she pulled out a gun from her magic bag of tricks that she has,
Well,
which
that's what
I'm
we're
pretty
doing next
sure is
time we
like
run into
not
the fucking
actually
hag.
magic.
We're just gonna go like Glock pow pow.
Hmm.
That'd be great. That'll solve all our problems, man.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't seem like that effective against the hag, but it did damage her pretty good.
Huh. I
Yeah,
gotta meet this
that was
man. That sounds great.
yeah. No, Nan's awesome.
Like, got a rifle and a purse. Love it. That's good
Hmm.
style. I love that.
I think she might be a fairy. I'm not sure, but she kind of looks like a normal person, but just with fairy wings. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
like
Yeah.
yeah,
Probably a fairy or some shit.
yeah, yeah. I don't think she could fly, but but I never
Well, I
thought
mean,
to
like,
ask actually.
theoretically, I think of like anything over there as a fairy, but I guess like fairies are like actually a thing, like pixies and shit,
Yeah,
like those wings. But like theoretically,
yeah.
like okay, so like by the book, I'm thinking everything on that side is like fae, fairy, whatever you want to call it, right? Because like
Hmm.
everybody's got like magic and shit seeped into them. And then the humans that are over there, like the people from our side of things, they all seem to get like turned into shit. So
Seems
there's
like
not
it.
like just like like if you see a human on that side of things, they're probably a fae, or at least
Maybe.
like
Well,
other
I
type.
mean, like it was pretty obvious with Nan because, like I said, she kind of was dressed like a sitcom mom. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
right, right.
that's not exactly something I've seen any villager wear, if you know.
Yeah. But like, so like the last chosen, there was that knight dude, and he was just a guy, but he had armor.
True.
So like, it doesn't always happen, but I don't know. It hurts my fucking head to think about this too hard.
Yeah. So that's what we've been up to.
Cool.
Oh, also I lost my job, but that's, you know,
Oh shit, man, that sucks.
it's actually kind of okay. Like, I don't know. Um, I thought I would be like devastated to lose my job, but I'm kind of not.
Really? It's like you gotta be
Like,
making decent money, right? And like you gotta pay for your apartment and shit.
yeah, yeah, that's like gonna be an issue. But I mean, what I mean is that like I have spent a lot of like time, energy, and money to become like a vet tech, and like I'm not like bothered at all not being that right now. I think I'm having an existential crisis.
Yeah, or somebody put like some glamour shit on you. Have you touched iron? Oh
I
no,
don't
hang on.
think so.
I'm gonna go get some salt. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Vrackle's
I'm not
leaving.
gonna question. I'm just like, oh, okay.
No, Vrack's gonna go to the kitchen and get some salt
Hmm.
and then come back and just like whoever's out in the house at the time is gonna be like, what the
Hmm.
hell is going on in there? Because there's a sock on the door, but then Seb came out to get salt?
Maybe you've got tequila and you're
Weird.
doing body
Yep.
shots.
Maybe. That'd be
That's
fun.
yep.
Yep. And I'll head back straight back in, and then close the door and go, okay, okay, okay. Like, sit on the ground, and I'll like shovel handfuls of clothing away to make a clear spot of floor. I
Hmm.
imagine it's kind of cracked laminate under everything.
Probably. I mean, you guys don't really have the best landlord, so it's not going to be like LVP or like well maintained carpet. It might be
No.
really shitty carpet, but it's not well maintained.
Yeah, it might be really shitty carpet.
yeah, but yeah, it'll be either really shitty carpet or really really crappy like rollout laminate.
Either way, I'll deal with it later if
Hmm.
there's some salt on it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, like it's. I mean, I have like enough saved up for a bit because I don't really like do much outside of my job.
Uh-huh.
But I just I'm not like I
Really?
don't feel. Well, I mean, enough. I'm not like I know I didn't make that much, but I'm also pretty low maintenance, so
Okay,
it's on my
okay.
fridge.
When was the last time you were with anybody?
You, when when did and I like referenced something that happened like 5 years ago.
Oh my god. You're fucking shitting me right now.
I am not. No, I mean like I basically like listen, I'm a boring person. Like I show up, I do my job, I get home, I watch whatever's on I can find streaming, and then I go to bed, I wake up and I do it over again. Like I don't have
Fuck. No
a
wonder you're
life.
like hanging out in the fairyland just for kicks. Like we gotta get you laid, man. And at this point, like
Yeah.
Zach has been like putting salt around you the entire time as they're like freaking out, and they'll finish it and be like, "Okay, do you feel any different?
Um
You still
I
feel
mean
like
I feel like maybe that it could be the issue.
okay, cool." So it's not that you got like a glamour or some kind of brain shit going on. It's
I
literally
don't
that
think
your life fucking sucks.
Yeah, yeah, I'm just like a really boring person and I've got really not much going for me. I was in a routine and now that I'm not in it, I'm like, oh shit. Yeah.
Okay, we gotta like shake things up.
Hmm.
You want to party?
Yeah.
Like, I know it's the middle of the fucking afternoon, but like everyone out there is ready to go at any time if I say the
Mm-hmm.
word. So like, let's let's get the shit started.
All right, I'm so down, and I'm trying to get my camera back in focus.
So you go down to
Mm-hmm.
like party and have fun with the random people that are hanging out with Sev's band. Um,
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? It's been a while since I've last done anything.
okay.
Like I haven't really gone to any parties. I haven't gone to any clubs. I literally just kind of like wake up, go to work, go home,
Oh,
go to sleep, and
also, before we go out there, there's a point where Sav goes to open the door and then
mm-hmm.
stops and is like, no, 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 we got to kill like at least another half hour.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
never out of here in sooner than like 45 minutes to an hour. I take my fucking time. I get shit done right. So, you know, let's just chill for a few minutes.
I'm down for that, I
Cool,
think.
cool, cool, cool.
So what do you want to do?
I don't know. And I'll turn on the music because there's like a some kind of speakers in the room and turn the sound up to cover any sounds that are going on in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be like, lie down on the bed, arms behind me, just be like, I don't know, just chat for whatever, or I don't know, we could bang if you wanted.
You
Like
just
no
see
pressure
like
or anything.
Rosa just immediately just kind of go, oh.
Like, like seriously, no pressure or anything, but like it's a good way to kill a half hour.
I look at Seven. I'm like, you know what? Uh, Yeah, let's do it.
Seriously? You're like, yeah?
Yeah,
You
I
up for this?
mean,
Like this isn't just like some kind of shock response or nothing?
no, I
You're
mean,
like
like, you
enthusiastic?
are an extremely attractive individual, and I just think it's weird that you would say that about me.
Mm.
Oh my
I don't know, you're
god.
pretty hot. Like, turn around.
I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah, no. See, hot. Anyway, get over here.
okay.
So
Let's
we'll
fade
kind
that one
of,
to black.
yeah, we'll fade that to black. We will say that it was probably incredibly awkward for the first several minutes
Hmm.
because Rosa was responding with, wait, what? Initially. Um, Beyond that, leave that to the mystery. Um,
Glad that sock was on the door though. Like
yeah,
that was handy.
yeah.
Hmm.
So, you guys essentially utilize your time well. Um,
Party.
And then afterwards, I will take Rosa out and we'll party at the house.
Hmm.
okay.
Get get whatever really low quality and really, really, really low quality liquor that we have.
Yeah.
And
Like,
or Seth will not get super, super drunk, but they are trying to get Rosa very drunk.
okay. Um,
It's pretty easy. You're like Rosa doesn't drink that
Yeah.
much
yeah, like
anymore, so
No.
she's kind of a lightweight.
super
Yeah, well,
flexible plastic bottles of
yeah.
like
Hmm.
fucking car battery acid tasting shit.
Hmm.
Um,
And
which
Seb's not
is
doing it in like a pusher kind of way. They can just see that you need this right now.
yeah,
You need to
Yeah.
be out of your
Yeah,
mind on
like I
something.
imagine she's someone who like he gets like drunk very fast, but then she just kind of stays at the same level for like, oh, like she can handle the liquor. She just
Yeah,
doesn't ever really like get to that point ever.
partake. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. It's a decent little party. It's still what you expect for that type
A
of
band
environment.
party.
Yeah, just a little bit of a band party. And at some point, there is obviously a jam session in the completely unfinished basement.
Oh no, absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Completely unfinished basement. Um, Notably, there are no reflective surfaces down there. I'm going to say for Sev that you even had the like drummer initially, like this was way back when you guys first started, black out the symbols
Yeah.
and everything.
And I was like, yo, it's cool. It's like fucking metal.
Oh yeah.
But like the opposite of metal, because it's like black. We don't want it shiny. But I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I made it all like gothy and shit. I was just like, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's for that reason, and not because I'm scared of mirrors.
But yeah, so it really doesn't hit its swing until nightfall. And by the time you are like the party is winding down and you are still, I'm not going to say 3 sheets to the wind, but you know, still fairly well buzzed, you realize that it's probably been about 10 or 12 hours since you left Fluffy behind.
Well, at least they got their 10-hour rest, I guess.
Mhm.
They're 10-hour rested. Yeah.
And I imagine the vibe is really like because you are Sev's girlfriend right now. At least
Mhm.
that's what the band thinks. That you like you're accepted with no questions, even though
Oh
like this
yeah.
is not the sort of person that Sev would normally get with.
Mhm.
They're just like, yeah, no, Sev's been trying a lot of new stuff lately. Okay, cool. We'll be nice to her.
Several of them are actually oddly enthusiastic to meet you, because you are living proof that Sev is not falling off the
Unreal.
wagon again.
Yeah.
You're not just some random girl that Sev found on the street to take a picture with, but you are like actually around. So it is
I'm not
not
like
all a
the
fabrication.
girlfriend who lives in Canada whose uncle works at
No.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I imagine somebody was was like, hey, was Sev with you? And like names the day that we were in
Mhm.
Fairyland last for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm. And I'm
thanks for
just like,
backing me
oh
up on
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
They're all very impressed by the fact that you are in super casual, normal clothing because it takes a lot of balls to just kind of show up however the fuck you feel like to a party.
Yep.
So you actually get several compliments for wearing just the most casual of I threw it on to go visit a friend.
Mm-hmm. I'm so used to wearing scrubs that just I don't think about fashion.
Oh yeah.
Like,
But yeah,
although scrubs are comfortable, I will say that.
they are very comfortable. But yeah,
Seb's also not dressed to party. They're still wearing their like sweats and black hoodie, but whatever. They make it look really cool. They look real good in it.
But yeah, it's about 4 a.m. by the time everything kind of winds down and people are either passing out or wandering off to their own other devices outside of the house. And as you're coming down from your buzz or still buzzed but coming down from the high of the party and you're tired because you've been up for a while now and you were in a fight, you're just like, oh, I told Fuzzy I was going to the other place and just left.
We should probably get back to Fluffy.
I guess if they're like a hurt and shit. Yeah. But like, I don't know if you want to go to the other side, you know, kind of, it doesn't do good if you're drunk over there. I think. Trust me, I'd know. You want to like chill here, sleep it off.
Yeah, you got a point. I guess a few more hours wouldn't be the worst.
No, like how did you leave them? Like they're not like bleeding out or anything, right? So they're like
no, they were just they were passed out on the bed, sleeping it off.
like good passed out though, right? Like not like oh god, I'm dead.
No, just the physically so exhausted that they were. I mean, they were like kicking in their sleep, you know, like how when dogs are like really deep in sleep and they like
Yeah,
it was one of those. Yeah.
Dogs don't have like a good sense of time, I think. except for dinner time. They know that.
Mhm. We did leave them in a tavern. I told the tavern owner that if they saw Fluffy up to tell him where I went to. So
Okay, cool, 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 cool.
that's about all I could
I'm
do.
sure they're okay.
Yeah, yeah, no. I'm sure that, I mean, they couldn't find a hag 2 days in a row, right?
So the hag like took off?
Oh yeah, she like turned into like a tornado and like spun out, just noped out of there. Was like, oh, I'm done with you. Bye.
That's a cool power. Why can't we get powers like that?
I don't know. I mean, like you have like ice powers, right? Or are you just like that?
I mean, that's a long story.
I can talk to squirrels.
That's cool. Are they chill or are they like kind of assholes? Because I think they'd be
Red's
assholes.
Red's chill. Some of them are they're mischievous. Let's just put it that way.
Cool.
They like
Good. Yeah.
pranks.
I love a little fucking asshole animal. They're the best. That's the best kind of animal.
It's why you like Fluffington. Yeah, so do you guys decide to just kind of take a couple of hours, or how long do you intend to
I think
rest
I.
and put it off? Because part of me is just
Yeah.
like, Sev is totally doing this to delay going back.
Oh, no,
Um,
absolutely. Oh, yeah, very much
but
so.
yeah, so how long do you intend to rest, or do you decide to go back directly?
I think Seb's plan is to bring Rosa back to their bedroom and then they'll both just sleep it off till tomorrow.
Okay.
And then we can sort out whether or not we're going back to Fairyland.
Okay. Um, so Rosa,
Hmm.
are you intending to try to wake up prior to your body sleeping off everything? Or are you just going to let yourself just sleep it entirely out and just come back to where Fluffy is and hope that he's still there?
Even I sleep it off odds, I am going to attempt to wake up.
Okay.
It is odds.
Okay. So in that case, I would like a might check from you for as you sleep, because you're not taking your full 10 hour. So let's see how well you do at waking to some sort of internal biological clock.
That's a 6, so
6.
it's rough. It's rough.
Yeah, it's not an out one. You don't
Mhm.
pass out for a full day. Um, because again, you fell in a well a couple of times, fought a hag, and then proceeded to party on old crappy food at the as the best option for actually eating ever since your meal with Nan.
And literally the cheapest alcohol.
Oh yeah. No matter what, you're waking up with a hangover,
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
because that shit that
There
yeah,
was no doubt.
there is no getting away from it.
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
I was like,
Yeah, there
I had to have nat 20 that to not wake up with a hangover. Let's be real.
yeah, it it was it was never any doubt. Um
Mhm.
but yeah, so you are comfortable. I mean, for a mattress that is old and a little beat up and thrown on to the floor, surprisingly comfortable after the day that you had and the party that you did. And it was actually a fairly fun party. You had a good time. Um, when you wake up, it's hard to tell what time it is due to the fact that Sev blacks out their windows with
Mhm.
curtains and other stuff thrown up so that light can't disturb them when they are doing their daytime sleeping. Um, so you have no idea what time it is, and your phone is definitely dead now.
Seb's not trying to wake up, so I imagine they're like draped. They got like their arms and a leg draped across you, and they're just dead asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And I'm definitely doing that thing where I'm just kind of laying there. It's like, what do I do about this? It's like if I move, Seth might wake up, but if I stay here, I might fall back asleep. But everything hurts.
How tall is
Everything
Rosa in the
hurts.
real world?
Like,
I think I established that she's like maybe like 5'6", 5'7" ish.
Okay. Yeah. So like they're almost the same height here, whereas like
Mm-hmm.
obviously in fairy
They're tall.
Brack is
Yeah.
stupid tall.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, everything hurts. Your mouth kind of tastes like something died in it.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel the rat's nest that is your hair,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just vaguely sticky from sweating and having stuff spilled on you the previous night.
I imagine there was some dancing that happened.
Oh
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like sweat and like some sort of really
I
cheap
imagine-
alcohol and possibly
I imagine the
food
airflow in
grease.
that house isn't great.
It's non-existent.
Yeah.
So yeah, you are kind of sticky, feel
Mhm.
gross, you're in pain, your head is screaming at you. It tastes like something crawled into your mouth and died.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea what time it is.
And I'm just kind of letting there's like, man, it would be so fun just to go back to Sanctuary for a bit.
I'm sure godmothers could give me some hangover cure.
Oh, they definitely can.
They can. I was just like, I need Sage's muffin. So but I feel like there's like, do I wake up? Do I move? I don't know. That feels. What do like? She's not saying any of this out loud, so she's just kind of like laid there, like, oh God, what do I do? What do I do? I've never done this before. Like, do I get up? Do I just stay here? But I have to go back. But it's like everything hurts, and I think I'm dying, but I have to go. But I'm really comfortable now.
I'm going to say that I'm gonna randomize this every I imagine Vrack's dreaming right now, and I'm gonna evens and odds if they're having a nightmare. Which is a thing that they do pretty often.
Okay.
Let's roll it. Odds. Okay. So yeah.
They're having a nightmare. Okay.
They're having a nightmare. They're draped across you as you're trying to figure this out. Sev, their eyes are kind of flicking behind their eyelids, and they're like right in your face, asleep. And then they will start like tensing up, and their hands will curl up into claws, and out loud they say, "Hurts? No, no, not the crown. I don't want to. No, leave me alone." And then they'll like toss and turn a little bit and
Like that.
Just like,
fall off the bed.
just like
Perfectly timed.
And fall off the bed.
Perfectly timed. Yeah.
They thrash around so hard they fall off.
yeah.
So they are no longer half on top of you.
Okay.
No.
Roll a might check to see if landing on the floor woke you up. It is fairly
Okay.
padded with old laundry, and it is not very far to fall, so this
Okay,
is
yeah.
not a high DC.
I think I got the phone the phone good again.
Yeah.
That was a 8.
8. Yeah, you're still asleep.
Okay, yeah, no. Just fully fall off the bed. Thank you for choosing that phone stand.
Perfectly timed.
I know. And I want, I like, part of me like wants to wake up Seth, and it's like, because I have a lot of questions now, but I don't. I'm like, oh, I don't know. They're kind of still asleep, and well, I think they'll know. I'll just try to like leave them like leave them a note or something. I don't know.
This is the second
Amazing.
person that you are leaving sleeping on a bed
Yeah.
with
On
a
the floor.
note.
You left the
Yeah,
dog sleeping on a bed and the elf sleeping on
with
the
a note.
floor.
Yeah, with a note
Yeah, no,
saying, "Oh, I'll be
Rosa
back."
lives by herself, has for a couple years, and so doesn't know the etiquette
Okay.
surrounding leaving someone asleep.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of I feel
I got one night standed in my own bed.
You did.
Good.
I want
Perfect.
to
Perfection.
uh it's like I don't want to, but I'm just looking down. It's like, but I don't want to leave Sev.
Now
I
that
just
they're
say
on the
fuck it.
floor, I think they curl up in the fetal position, like they curl up really, really small, and the
Mm-hmm.
nightmare starts to abate.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Um, and they kind of cozy into whatever pile of clothing that they're fallen onto.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of like, you fucker. Ah, it's good to be back. In a completely different voice, like this weird little tiny snickery kind of voice. And
I do lean down, Sev.
they mumble to themselves incoherently, but it's all in this like really high pitched kind of like, yeah,
Sev. Sev.
and they'll even go into like almost a different language. It's really guttural, or maybe they're just talking in their sleep and just talking nonsense. Tough to say.
Sev. I finally am deciding that I'm just like, ooh, Sev. Sev. And I eventually just kind of like,
What? Huh?
hey, it's me, it's Rosa. I
Oh,
I have no idea what time it is. Everything hurts. I think I'm gonna go check on
uh,
Fluffy.
yeah, that's the hangover. You'll get over it. You should have some like eggs and a whole bunch of water. I should have got you to drink more water last night.
Yeah, that was probably hindsight's 2020 and all that. I need to get back to Fluffy because I don't know what time it is.
Is there water at the end?
Well, there's the well. I know that much.
Okay, hang on a second.
You really know
Just,
that
like,
much.
just sit. And several like throw themselves together, throw some pants on, head out into the hallway, and then they'll come back a few minutes later with like probably an empty Coke bottle, but it's been refilled with water.
Yeah. Did you rinse it out first?
Probably, but not well.
Okay.
Just a little bit of water switched around
Mm-hmm.
at the bottom, and you dump it out, and then you refill it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's good enough,
Yep.
right? That's
Yep.
clean.
Mm-hmm. Done
Definitely
that.
good enough. Definitely
That's
good
good.
enough. Especially when you are this hungover, not gonna notice a difference.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. Before you go running off to like get yourself killed by a hag or some shit, like, okay, ground rules with the other side, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
fucking dangerous over there. I would not go in drunk or like hungover. You gotta have like fucking wits about you. So sip a little bit of this, and if you can keep it down for like 5 minutes, you gotta drink a bunch more.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if we got like food or something. You don't want to eat right now. Like you're not gonna keep it down if you eat right now, but you're gonna need to eat so like the alcohol can like sucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. Anyway, sip at it, see if you can keep it down.
Okay.
There's got to be some ibuprofen around somewhere. And Rack will or several wander off again and let you sip at some water in their room as they go and try and find some Tylenol.
And I think that is a great place for us to take a break. And we will be back soon. Give us about 5 or 10 minutes to go get ourselves some water and such. For those watching, for those watching, don't forget to hydrate, get up, stretch, do your thing, and we will be back soon. Bye. we're back. Um, what captions to come back in? All right, bad decision tour in 3, 2, 1.
Amazing.
That was totally from
Good.
Melina too, because credit where
She
credit's
makes
due.
a bad decision.
Yeah, let's make some decisions. But yeah, so you're sitting there in like yesterday's clothes, rumpled, hungover,
Wildly hungover.
wildly hungover, rat's nest of hair, because curly hair, when you do nothing to prep it for sleep after having been like dancing around and partying and sweating, and then like rolling around and doing stuff prior to that. Yeah, you started with bedhead and now you have a nest
It's
for your
worse.
yeah, now you have a nest for your furry woodland critters. But yeah, so you're just sitting there on the bed, sipping water from the old Coke bottle. Uh, Sev, you'd be able to eventually find some vague leftover, like probably breadsticks. Breadsticks are bread at least,
Yeah.
to be able to utilize as something vaguely breakfast like. Are you gonna try and find any, like, scrounge anything for yourself from the fridge? Because it having been a party the previous night is
That'd be
also,
something.
it would
Yeah.
be a random assortment of things, but the
I'm up for
actual
random assortment.
groceries are done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, cool.
No, I'll grab whatever. I imagine that Sev's not as hungover because they're more used to this, but also they didn't go as hard.
Yeah, they were focusing on getting Rosa fully, like, let loose.
Yeah. So they're all like a little bleary-eyed, but not
Hmm.
terribly so. Just the usual I stayed up all night kind of.
Yeah, and also you didn't have a fight the day before with
No, exactly.
a hag or anything. Which again, Rosa, or at the time Thorn, didn't take a lot of damage in that fight. Like, was
I don't think I
not up,
really took any.
yeah, was not upfront melee. All of your points were probably from abilities, because even the petrification was aimed at Nan originally.
Hmm.
So yeah, you came out of it mostly okay. The Fluffy, having been the frontliner during that, was the one that took the most
Yeah.
damage from, like, thorn spikes digging into them and 3 animated objects pelting them in the head over and over again. But yeah, so you were mostly fine, just tired, and that's a lot of, like, mental and physical stress of having gone through. But after a couple minutes of, like, sipping and occasionally, like, futilely pressing the button to try and turn on your cell phone, Seb would come back with some food.
I have
Hell yeah.
a leftover bag of breadsticks from a pizza order, uh, a tiny layer of chips in the bottom of a rolled up bag,
Mm-hmm.
um, something crunchy and indefinably kind of beige,
Mm-hmm. The
and
breadsticks
like
are old enough to where they're kind of hard and crunchy on their own as well.
it's like a biscotti.
Yeah.
And just like give me like I'm like a child. Like,
Yeah,
give
yeah, yeah.
me.
I hand them over, and then I'll probably have like some other random bits and a coffee.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But yeah.
I'm gonna dip the breadstick in your coffee just to like test that biscotti theory.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ah, smart, smart. And then I'll like grab one and we'll biscotti some.
Yeah. Oddly
Garlic
enough,
biscotti.
well, the flavor of the coffee is questionable. Uh, it made it a little bit less bitter because the salt helps to counteract the bitterness of the
Hmm.
coffee,
Mhm.
and it is cheap coffee. So it made
I
it a
think
little
we're onto
less
something.
bitter. I don't know about, like, the vaguely herbed and cheese, like the parmesan and herb that was on it, doing
Somewhere
much
in
for
the
the
back of my
actual
brain,
coffee.
Kale from our other stream is gagging in disgust at the entire
Oh, yeah.
concept of this.
Oh, yes. Your other characters would be so thrown by this.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Parmesan and coffee. Delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snap's. This
I'm
is
just
just a standard breakfast. I'd be like, there's more coffee, but it's like really hard on your stomach if you're super hungover. So like, give it a bit. Get some bread down here first, and then you can try.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounds good.
Yep. Um, but yeah, you're slowly recovering.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you a bit, takes you a good 30 or 40 minutes of like sipping, gnawing on the hard multi-day old bread and stuff, and the nondescript, vaguely beige and crunchy whatever it was that Sev had retrieved for you.
Some kind of carb. Who knows?
And it is helping. It is definitely helping. Your headache's starting to go away. Like, actual painkillers would probably help more. But yeah, the hydration and the carbs to help like soak up whatever is still remaining in your stomach, which is not a lot.
Do you want me to roll and see if I can scrounge up some
Yeah,
some Advil?
roll me a search check.
Let's do intelligence. This is a flat roll. I got nothing that'll help. But I rolled a 17.
17. Yeah, so you know that like a couple of your bandmates do keep some like Advil and aspirin on hand, mostly aspirin. One of them has this like pothos that they've got in their room that they're determined to keep alive, and they heard something about putting aspirin in water, so they always have aspirin on hand. They might also have some Tylenol or something like that. But you're able to fairly easily sneak into their room to try and search it out. They're not even home.
Cool. Perfect. Sneak in, find it, grab a couple pills, bring them back for Rosa.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, man, I've been there. It sucks. Take it easy for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll, fuck around with magic or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta get your head on, like, straight first.
Okay. So, Sev, in walking around, you would have an idea of what time it is, because you guys have got to have a clock of some kind somewhere.
Yeah.
It might be like a really old like clock from the thrift store or picked up from curbside at some point, but it works. It is easily 6 in the afternoon.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
After a good party, yeah.
Yeah,
That tracks.
You guys slept for like 14 hours.
Yeah. That tracks.
Yeah. That
I don't
completely
think
tracks.
that.
I've totally done that before.
Yeah.
But yeah. You don't tell Rosa that?
No.
Didn't think so.
I'm just sitting there. I was like, I'll probably get back to Fluffy.
Yeah.
I hope they're still at the tavern.
I guess. Yeah, for Fluffy. I mean, like, okay, so here's the thing. I don't like going over there, like, when there's not any specific reason, and, like, right now my brain's not screaming at me to get over on that side of things, but Fluffy hasn't gone home, right? Like, and checked in with their people?
I mean, I wouldn't know if they did.
We should tell them that they should, because, like, Fluffy's just a dog for them, right? They're gonna think their dog ran away again. That sucks.
Yeah.
That's sad.
You did at one point have that conversation with Pedro.
So it was what Pedro sort of knows.
What?
Yeah. Oh, were you not there? Oh, yeah. So,
Like,
Like-
knows, like, what?
I think Pedro's been on the other side.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. he thinks that, I mean, he was told it was just a dream, but like he sort, I mean, I don't know if he knows how to like do it or like what like causes it, but I
I
have a
mean, kids
feeling he's
sometimes
been
just
over
pop
there
over there on
before.
their own, so he doesn't know how to control it. Sometimes it just
Yeah.
happens.
Mm-hmm. And so I think he sort of knows what's going on with Fluffy.
You told him, or like he knows before that.
I made things clearer for him.
Does he know that Fluffy's like a person on the other side?
To be fair, I don't think he knows that. I think
Okay,
he
because
just knows Fluffy
that's a
is like,
fucking trip.
I think he knows that Fluffy is like a big weird dog, but I don't think he knows about Juan.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, that's like probably what I would think too. If someone was like, "Oh yeah, this dog crosses over," I'd be like, "Oh, okay, so they're like a
Mm-hmm.
dog on the other side, not like
Mm-hmm.
like just a guy you could
Yeah,
talk to."
I don't know what all that
Weird.
stuff about Juan is. And like you just kind of see Rosa stop for a moment. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about the map. So the guy who like runs the apothecary that the hack was in, he was like a little half gnome guy, and Fluffy was being like, "Hey, do you know Juan?" And he was like, "No." And so Fluffy was like, "Okay, do you know how you know so much about plants?" And I think his name was like Bingo or Bongo or something, some like weird ass fantasy
Well, of
name.
course.
Was like, I learned from my uncles in the forest, and then drew us a map to the forest. And I look up at Seven. I was like, I really hope Fluffy hasn't gone to the forest by himself.
It's not like the Dark Forest, right?
I
It's like
don't
a
think
forest.
so. It's just a forest,
Yeah,
but
it's probably
also I
okay then.
don't know if Fluffy knows how to read a map.
I don't know if Fluffy knows how to read.
Fluffy
Fluffy's
has
Yeah.
a fucking
expressed to
dog.
you before that they can't read and that they could not
Mm-hmm.
read the map. So they have like directly stated this to you.
They cannot.
I was, let's say, well, I'd like to think that Fluffy would know to not go on their own, but they did also attack a hag without consulting me or Nan.
I mean, like
So who
twice,
knows?
right? Like this was the first time.
No, nah, this is where like what 2 for 2 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So like, yeah.
Hot puppy.
Eh.
Well,
Light just randomly turned on. That's
Yeah.
ah, cool.
The light of knowledge shines upon you. Um,
It randomly
as
turned off earlier, so now it's just randomly turning back on.
yeah, as my puppy comes up to visit. Hello, Mr. Twist. Um, but yeah, so you guys are gonna try and head back.
I think we have to.
Yeah.
At this point, Rose is like, "Oh God, I hope Fluffy didn't like go off on their own."
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, so you gather your guitar, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I will get dressed.
Yeah.
I know that the clothes are different on the other side anyway, but like it just feels better if you to be dressed.
Okay.
Not to be weird, can I borrow like your toothbrush? Like I don't, I know we're like crossing a boundary already, but I need to do something about
Oh,
this.
totally. Yeah. You can shower if you want. I got like
That might
clothes
help.
you can wear.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
will
Yeah.
take you up on the offer. So like,
Happily.
at least to
You'll
do something about all of this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Self will probably shower after you as well. Like
Mhm.
just get
Okay.
ourselves actually fully prepped and ready to go.
Okay.
Like Rose is like in her mind, she's like, "Oh yeah, that makes total sense. We need to like get prepared." But I imagine it's also Sev just like putting it off a little bit
Oh no,
longer too.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you pick up on it, but like it's very obvious that Steph is like, I don't want
hmm
to go, but Fluffy, but I don't fucking want to go.
No.
My
hmm
day off.
So
Um, they will insist, however, as you're like, brushing your hair and putting yourself together
hmm
fully, they'll duck into the bathroom with you and like slip an arm around your waist and pull you in close and then whisper in
hmm
your ear to be like, hey, so like let's tell my band that we're going to your house, and then they won't care if I'm missing because they'll know where I am, and they won't know I'm not like shooting up in a gutter or something. Uh, so we're gonna have to use a mirror somewhere else. That's cool.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that
Cool.
works.
Cool. Cool. Okay.
Okay. Um, so you'd be able to find, I don't know, probably the bassist down in the basement, like making notations that may or may not have been agreed by the bassist and the drummer on
Good.
some of your uh, music to be able to
Okay,
let
he's
them
probably
know. But
still awake. They started doing this last night and they haven't stopped. They're
yeah,
hyper focused.
well, by the time you guys are both ready, it's like 7:30
Oh, okay. Yeah.
because both of you took time to shower, and then there was
Mhm.
the taming of the curls. Um, so it's like 7:30. Uh, even if they had slept, they would be awake again by now.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
so yes, the basement, very very punny, very punny.
Okay. That's where
Um,
you find bassists.
yeah, so you are able to communicate that, and are you just finding a reflective surface out of sight, like a window or something, or are you going to go all the way back to Rose's place?
I don't know that we need to go all the way to Rosa's place, although Seb is definitely pushing for it. But if Rosa wants to go back earlier, like we'd be like, there's like five shiny things over there.
Five shiny things over there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just like somewhere out of sight. I'm assuming that like it's a no-go at Sev's. So,
Yeah. So
mhm.
yeah, you'd
Yeah,
be
like
able
Seb actually
to.
makes a big show of leaving.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, yo, going over to Rosa's place. I'll see you guys. I don't know. We got what a gig in like 4 days or whatever. See you
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, yeah, and like just holds up the pen, like doesn't even look at you, like
Mhm.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
sure, sure, okay.
cool.
As they're still making notations.
Yeah, someone knows where they are. That's fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then
Um,
we'll leave.
yeah. We'll say that you also like shoot a text to someone else on your way out because you're not convinced that they
We'll
fully,
remember.
yeah, fully absorbed the performance. But yeah, so around you there are a variety of other houses. There are windows at each of these houses. There is also a bus stop to be able to take a bus somewhere down the street. There's probably a corner store that doesn't really have a public bathroom but has a variety of reflective surfaces inside. Um, if you like walk a block away, and Seb would know this, but Rosa would not. There are a couple of fast food places that do have public restrooms that you'd be able to utilize a mirror from. But you do have a variety of options in terms of reflective surfaces. Most cars are parked on the street as opposed to on like in parking spots. So using a mirror or something from those would be very out in the open.
Yeah.
Possible. It's just
Um,
it would be very out in the open.
hey, how's your stomach sitting right now? You good?
Yeah, I think I'm good. The weird gurglies have gone away. So,
Okay. Because I would like actually kill for some food right now. And there's like a it's like a burger place over there. I got I'll reach into my pockets and just see if I have money.
Yeah, you've got a small wad of cash.
Yeah.
mhm.
You guys have
But
worked a couple of gigs since then, so you've got a
yeah.
small wad of cash.
I'm like, cool, 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 cool. You know, they got like a good like lunch special, I think. Well, dinner special now. They do like a 2 for 1 thing if you want a burger or some shit.
That sounds so good right now.
Cool, 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 cool. So let's have some burgers and then we'll like in the head to the
Again,
bathroom.
Rosa a little oblivious to the let's just spend a little bit more time over in the real world. So, like,
Yeah. Also, I'll treat you to breakfast after, well, dinner
uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
after hooking up last night.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Um. So, you
Seb's not a gentleman, but they know how to treat a lady right.
you walk about a block away,
I love a
and
2-for-1
yeah,
special.
and it's one of those little burger places that like they don't really have interior seating, but they do have those bolted to the concrete outdoor picnic table type places. The majority of the building itself is reflective because it's that kind of polished steel look to the building so that it looks like a shiny box all on its own.
Good.
And there is like a drive through area that is a little bit hidden from the street that you'd be able to potentially duck around to and not be seen after you've eaten.
Cool. Or duck into the bathroom if there is one.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's probably a bathroom accessible via an outdoor, like outside
Oh, yeah.
wall.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Good.
But yeah,
Give it a shot.
greasy,
It's wherever. Yeah.
greasy, super cheap burgers, and they also have like really cheap liquidy milkshakes to go along with it.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
or you know, typical sodas
Mhm.
and water,
God, when you're
which they would be
hungover,
surprised.
nothing hits like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like it's
Yeah.
exactly what you would expect.
Yeah.
Exactly what you would expect.
Yeah. I imagine we would eat, and then Rosa just keeps being like, "Yeah, we need to go get Fluffy." Like that's just like she's starting to be like, "Okay, Fluffy now, Fluffy
Yeah,
now."
Yeah, okay.
it's probably at this point, having eaten somewhere between 8:30 and 9.
Just
The
killing
sun
time.
is, yeah, the sun has set as you were eating. So the sun has set the next day from when you last left. And at this point, you're just like, it has been over 24 hours since I last left Fluffy, because while you might not know the exact time, Rosa, you do know that when you left Fluffy, it was sometime mid afternoonish, and now it's like the next day at sunset. So go into the bathroom
Successfully
together to go
distracted.
Yes.
use
Yes.
a mirror.
Yes.
Okay. Are you once again doing the scrying prior to transitioning, or are you just targeting a location and transitioning via the mirror?
You know what? I am actually going to scry in the mirror because I am determined to make this work
Okay.
for Rosa slash Thorn.
Yeah,
That's
Thorn has not once succeeded on this.
I got a 10 this time.
You got a 10 this time. It's still not successful. You
Mhm.
do scry on the room that you left Fluffy in though, and Senor Fluffington is no longer on the bed.
Oh shit.
Not correct.
But you
Okay.
also already have the reflection tuned into that, so if you wanted to use this reflection to get there, it would not be a roll.
Okay, I will. Yeah.
We'll start our search where
Well,
you left Fluffy.
last we left, and then going forward. I'm just
Okay.
like try not to get lost this time as I pull Seb through the mirror.
Yep. So as you guys like either hold arms or hold hands or something so that you are in contact and can transition together, Rosa puts her hand out and presses it to the mirror, and you guys start to slip through with that kind of twisting flip that always seems to happen. Luckily, you are oriented the same way in this transition. It's like a wall mirror versus another wall mirror, so that's a little bit less disorienting. But you do slip through in this kind of tumbling fashion and kind of land with a slight thud on the wooden floor of a fairly small but cozy inn room in Fairy Tale Land. Guitar in hand, back in your fairy tale personas, and no sign of Senor Fluffington anywhere nearby. You do see the bed still mussed because it hasn't been like made back up since they left, whenever that was. And the note that you had left behind was completely ignored because Senor Fluffington cannot read, so it's exactly where you left it.
Yeah, that tracks.
I can just imagine them sniffing it and being like, okay, it's a paper.
A paper.
Yeah.
uh, okay, so and then I turned to Vrac and I like so this was the end that I left Fluffy in, and as you can see, Fluffy is not here, so we probably need to go look for them.
Oh, all right. And then they're gonna be like in a fucking magical swamp or whatever bullshit this place is gonna throw at us. Let's get it over with.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and head downstairs and talk to the tavern owner, see if maybe they had eyes on Fluffy. And then I do that.
Okay.
I'll follow along.
I was gonna ask, is Rack following or is Rack hanging out in the room?
Nah, Brack's gonna slouch after you.
Okay, Vrack is not hanging in the room, just going along with you.
Mhm.
You go down the stairs to a like faintly busy little. It's not a combined tavern and inn. This is like legitimately just an inn. So it's not super busy, but vaguely busy little kind of foyer area where the innkeeper like tends to the people who come and go. They are tending to someone that seems to be checking in some travelers that look fairly travel worn, like kind of dusty and tired from having just reached town. Um, Same person that you spoke to the previous day. Are you gonna interrupt? Are you gonna wait around? Are you just gonna leave?
I'm gonna like just stand behind the the traveling group. I'm gonna be polite.
So after a couple minutes, they do get like sent up to a room with a kind of a key to check it after they've checked in, and there's like a moment of confusion and recognition as they realize who you are and
Mm-hmm.
that you have suddenly appeared again. Oh, yeah, your Nan's friends. Yes.
Yes.
Uh,
So you know what the wolf dog looking guy? You hadn't have to see them like come through here, like from
uh,
the room, right?
yeah. They were sniffing a lot at me
Mm-hmm.
at some point. Um, Came down maybe mid morning. Um, I said that you were going to the other place. They looked confused. Asked if it was the bad place, and I said I didn't know. And then they said, "Oh, you didn't need to go to the bad place anymore." And then just kind of wandered out since I wasn't able to tell them where the other place was. Seemed to mumble to themselves something about trying to find you or trying to find someone.
Someone or someone?
I don't know. I couldn't hear very well.
Okay.
Fluffy's been like obsessed with Juan lately, right?
Yeah. Ever since we got back from like the garden and did all that.
Do we
You
know
know,
what Juan?
you know, they said something about like they saw something, but then it wasn't them, but it was them, but it wasn't, or something.
Yeah, I don't know that I really got that. Like it's hard to understand them at the best of times because they're like a dog talking human words. So some of the shit they said's like you kind of gotta like translate it in your head. Like I know the bad place is probably like the vet, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whereas like this is the bad place for me, but that's fine. I mean, they're shitty because they fired you, but like at least they're in the real
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Are you having this conversation just like right in front of the innkeeper? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's further looks of confusion and slight fear now.
Yeah.
And I kind of look over. Oh no, not you. You're lovely. Like this is a nice place.
I I promise that this isn't a bad place. There aren't any witches or hags or anything here. No need for
I mean, those are gay,
tornadoes
right?
or anything like
I
that.
I mean, there was, to be fair, there was a hag that was at the apothecary.
Yes, but there isn't one here. You don't need to be fighting or anything.
Oh man,
Oh,
I'd put that on your sign. That'd be like the first thing I'd advertise. I'd be like,
hag
Bob
free.
in,
Do,
guaranteed no hags. I'd stay there. That's like your Yelp review, man. Like that's great.
I don't want to yelp. I
Don't worry about it.
Nan said that you guys weren't going to cause any trouble here.
Oh,
So
Ned has
so
never met
please
me.
please don't try to fight with
No,
me or
no,
anything.
no, no. We're not gonna fight you unless you want us to.
I mean, if you
But
wanted to.
no.
No, I'm specifically asking you to not fight with me.
Okay,
Cool.
And my
cool.
name isn't Bob.
What is your name?
Fillion.
Phil. Cool.
Phil works. Yeah.
I
Cool.
was close.
Yeah.
Anyway, catch you later, Phil.
Anyway, let's go
Real man.
let's find Fluffy.
So question.
Thanks for looking out, by the way.
So question. Did you take the map with you when you left, or did you leave the map with Fluffy?
Knowing me, I left the map with Fluffy.
Okay.
I don't think I would have had the foresight
Fluffy
to
said
take it with me.
That's why I've got to ask. So yeah,
Let's go on a
you
little journey.
get out into the streets. It is early evening, just past nightfall. Very quaint little village, little town. This is probably the most peaceful, cheerful little village that you have been in Fairy Tale Land, Frack.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
Looks like looking around, like they're like
beautiful starry sky, like the faint hint of like fireflies just kind of lingering at the edges of stuff.
like 10 million or something.
Not quite.
You wouldn't have believed your eyes.
No, I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, Vrak's wandering around and they're looking at the town and they're like looking askance at everything as though they expect the pretty veneers to peel away and suddenly to find like a hellfire and cannibalism inside all these like quaint little cottages.
Uh, where in town are you going? Where are you leading them, Thorn?
My first instinct is to go to Castle White's Tavern.
From one burger shop to the next.
Only
Okay.
because I'm like that's like I
Yes.
completely remember how to get there.
Perfect.
Okay.
And then I feel like I would probably then kind of backtrack to the apothecary.
Well, in trying to get to the tavern,
Mhm.
which is the Burger Tavern, not White Castle Tavern, because White Castle
Mhm.
is like the actual castle of
Yeah.
the royal White family.
Yeah.
So that is in a different town, essentially. So
But there's a burger
The
tavern.
place, the
yeah,
place, the
yeah,
bur-
but yeah, the Burger Tavern that serves what Nan could like as the closest thing possible get as White Castle burgers, and they call themselves Burger Tavern because of that, not knowing what burgers are. Um, you would actually pass the apothecary because you went from the Burger Tavern to the apothecary and then from the
Okay.
apothecary to this inn. So you don't actually know how to get to the Burger Tavern from here.
Okay.
Um,
So probably then apothecary.
yeah. And
Yeah.
all the roads in town lead back to the town square where the large well is. So that was easy enough for you to find.
Mm-hmm. Fine.
But yeah, so you would be able to, on your way, trying to navigate around, and it's dark, and it's been a bit, and this is your first time really navigating on your own. You would eventually find the completely destroyed shop front that had like the windows blasted out and the door blasted out and the ceiling and roof somewhat damaged by the tornado that the hag summoned. And you see as you approach it the somewhat vaguely put back together shelves because both you and Fluffy had tried to repair things the best that you could when you finished the whole confrontation. But there's still holes in the flooring from where the thorns, the root spikes, had like jutted up trying to stab you guys. One of your arrows is still like broken and wedged into one of the shelves. It's not in great condition. Um, it's entirely
Wow,
possible
you guys fucked
that
this place up.
yeah, it's entirely possible that the guy Bongo is still there, but it is also entirely possible that he's found somewhere else to sleep. You don't know.
Good job. I want to fuck something up now.
Oh, maybe hold on to that, depending. I kind of like peer through and I call up Bongo, hello.
I can't
Hello,
believe that this
Bongo.
dude's actual name is actually Bongo.
Is there a response? Not here.
You can try going in.
Okay, yeah, I'll just go in. I was trying to be polite before I just like barge in and be like, hey, the person who like fucked up your shop is back.
Yeah.
Me.
Calling into the broken shop, you don't get an initial response. The door to that back room where he had been hiding for the majority of the fight is closed, but there does not seem to be a response to you calling out.
I knock on the door. Bongo.
Make an observation or perception check.
Ooh. Okay. Nat 20.
Ooh.
You can hear shuffling behind the door. With a nat 20, it distinctly sounds like someone that is very afraid curling into a corner and trying to hide.
Aw.
Okay, I listen. I know that we kind of left on bad terms, Bongo, from earlier with the hag fight. I just have a couple questions. I'm not here to hurt you. I have a friend with me. We're not trying to hurt you. We're just trying to find our other friend.
You said you'd go away. Why are you back? You said you'd go away.
Yes, because we were. I was mainly hoping if maybe you could direct me to your uncle's place in the forest. You see, my friend he took off with the map, and I don't have a copy of the map, and also I don't think that they really know how to read a map either. So, hopefully on the way there, you don't even have to like open the door. You can just slide it under.
Yeah, they came back because they can't read the map. They thought
Oh, they
that you
did?
went without them.
No.
So they kept asking like where to go. Like I had to describe some of the steps for them, and, like where to go. Will you go away if I tell you to?
Yes.
Will you
Yes,
actually
yes.
go away this time?
this time we will actually go away. I wouldn't be here
Okay.
asking if it was like, but this is kind of like maybe an emergency, and we would like your help, please, please.
Okay, I'm not opening the door.
It's okay. You don't have to.
Okay. Well, you go out of town to the woods, and you've got to walk kind of northwestish, and you keep walking northwest, and you follow towards the mountains there. They're maybe 3 hours travel, but you gotta make sure that you get that turn. There's a turn at a big old tree. It kind of looks like a big. It looks kind of like it was a person, but it wasn't a person. It's got a weird face looking knob at the top.
I feel like. Yeah.
Hey, could you draw it? Because that would help us go away faster.
I'm not good at drawing.
It's okay.
Like, your friend saw the map. I'm not good at drawing.
To be fair, our friend also just doesn't know how to read maps or really knows how to read either. To be fair, so
No, you actually did see the map, and it was very, very shittily drawn.
Good.
I'm trying to be encouraging to Bongo so he will help us.
It's kind of dark in here. I can't draw in the dark, and I don't want to open the door.
Oh, you got a candle out here or something? I can give you something.
No, no, no,
Don't
I don't
trust
want to
me.
open the door.
No, no, you can trust me. I'm like way cooler than the other guys. I definitely don't destroy anything at all, and I'm super nice. You can trust me.
Make an interaction roll.
Sure am going to, and I'm good at influencing people.
It is hindered by the fact that this person is traumatized by your friends.
Absolutely. I'm gonna put some effort on this because I'm smooth. Smooth as a 15.
15. All right, so with some effort and the fact that you are trained in this, despite the fact that it is hindered, he just goes, "Oh, okay, I could use the lamp that's under the cat counter. It's out there."
Yeah, don't worry about it, Bongo Man. I'll grab it for you, and I'll keep all these, scary Rosa or Thorn away from you. So it's cool.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I'm good. I'm
She
good. We're good.
just she just shot she just shot the scary lady. She just
Oh
shot the
yeah, no.
scary lady right in the middle of
Yeah, yeah,
my
like
right in the
Thorn's
middle of my
terrifying,
shot.
man. Yeah, Thorn's real scary. She's like
Right in the middle
super
of my shop, and then there was a
like
tornado.
athletic,
And then there was a
good, like
tornado, and Nan shot her too, but it's Nan. So Nan was just trying to protect us probably.
Nan sounds like a badass, and I definitely want to meet her someday. Nan sounds rad.
Nan takes care of all of us.
Oh,
She's like everyone's granny, but not really a granny.
oh, that's great. Okay, cool.
All right.
Like everyone's
And then
like everyone's hot mom.
you hear a couple of things scrape to the side, and the door carefully creaks open. This guy is maybe 4 feet tall, maybe 4 feet tall,
Yeah.
and peeks his head around the corner.
I will have crouched
Yeah,
down as I hear the door starting to crack open. And crouch down as small as I can go, which is not very small these days.
yeah,
But at least I'm not looming over him.
yeah. Bongo is used to people being taller than him, like
Yeah,
he's half forest gnome.
yeah.
Um,
I'll
hold out
You can
the
kind of see
whatever.
like Thorn also kind of like steps away,
yeah.
Yeah.
so like with kind of hands up. So you know,
Right.
I'm not trying to fool Bongo or anything.
And Frackle hand the lamp over very slowly.
All right, thank you.
Hey man, it's
You
cool.
you look a little funny, but I kind of am used to that at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, well I'll
I've
try.
got, fashion.
Uh,
Shit.
So he like uh, turns and digs something out of the box that had been shoved against the door that opens out towards you. There was no point to something being there, but was not thinking of that at the moment. Um, Rifles around in there, um, pulls out a little flint and steel, and knocks a light to the oil lantern, and then proceeds to dig around a little bit more. And that same kind of label paper, ledger paper that he had used to draw the really shitty map. Like on one side, he like really quickly sketches the map again, and then on the other draws a really, really shitty version of what might be like a particularly large individual with a very strangely shaped face holding their arms up in the air, but it kind of looks like they've got multiple arms and their hands are made out of broccoli.
Cool.
It
So
is
kind of blobby sweet guy.
yeah, it is the shittiest looking tree slash person you've ever seen drawn. Like this is third, like 3-year-old, 4-year-old level.
Look at it and be like, "Rad, that's yeah. That's good. I like this.
So
What are you talking about? You're pretty good at this. Look at that."
so you got to make sure that you take a right when you see this and go a little bit more north than west.
Uh, hey, Thorn, you should probably write this down
No,
because
north, no,
I've
more
already
west than
forgotten.
north. I think
We
it's
gotta go in. All
because
I know is
that's
we're
the
going into the woods.
directions. Because
Yeah.
this
So
and this, yeah. So you go right a
Thorn
little bit,
opens
so it's
up.
more north than west.
Yeah, Thorn. I think feel like Thorn carry like in her little pack. She does carry like a tiny like journal.
No,
There, that's probably like where her the aunties give her tasks and stuff.
yeah.
So
Okay.
she's like writing all this down. So okay. So turn right at the thing, and then go north, more north than west.
Yeah, there will be a little creek that you get to follow, and
Creek.
it like will
Okay.
just take you right to the village.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't turn right at the tree, is it bad? We get like eaten or something?
I don't know, you might just get lost.
Yeah, that's bad. Let's not get lost.
Yeah. The only time I didn't remember to turn because I was a little distracted. I was young. I just got lost for a couple days. They eventually found me.
Well, they found Bongo, so probably find us, probably find Fluffy.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure absolutely nothing bad will happen in this fucked up
Nothing,
world.
nothing bad ever happens here,
No,
except for you know, we're
What
everything.
not gonna.
happened to my
Literally
shop?
everything.
That was
Let,
pretty
let's
bad.
Yeah. If it was my choice, that wouldn't have happened. Um,
Hag's gonna hag, man.
yeah, that was a hag.
Sorry, my dog is digging at his bed really hard, and I'm trying to mute so that it doesn't just like rocket over the microphone. Um, but seriously, buddy, are you comfy yet? Yeah, thank you. Um, but yeah, so he's just like, yeah, she turned scary, and then Nan shot her and said something about her being guilty, and I don't know. I don't know. It's just I don't even know what to do.
Hmm. Well, I know you probably don't want our help, but I am willing to help rebuild the shop if you would like when after we find our friend.
That'd be appreciated so long as, you don't attack anyone else.
I can promise that for myself. I will try my best to have Fluffy also promise that too.
Okay.
Doesn't say anything about Rack.
I didn't make any promises.
No.
Okay. Well, it's kind of late.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't like it's just we lost our friend and we needed this was probably they were probably going to try to come back here. You should probably go back to sleep and I am sorry for waking you up.
Yeah. I was just staring at the ceiling.
You're what? You said you were like a forest gnome?
No, I'm half. My dad Bingo was a forest gnome, but he died a while ago.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Bongo, son of Bingo.
Okay.
Bingo bongo.
You know if there's any anyone else living in those woods? Like any other gnomes or like goblins or bugbears or anything?
And if you go a little bit more southwest and south north, and you get to the dwarves, but
Mm.
most of them don't live there anymore. They tend to live at the castle or in the mountains.
Yeah, dwarves. Anyway, cool. Thanks for the help though. Like you've been super
Yeah,
helpful. Hopefully we
Yeah,
can help later when we get back.
I'm not a
yeah.
bad guy. I was doing business.
You are absolutely a sweetheart. It was the hag,
Listen,
and I
hags
am
just happen
sorry.
sometimes.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
it's
I'm
just
not
like
that sweet. I'm not that sweet. I'm just me. I'm just Bongo. It's so hard to keep a straight face.
so sad. I'm like, oh no, my heart is breaking for Bongo right now.
Yeah, Bongo the apothecary, the
Good.
half gnome apothecary that lives in the town that's near Snow White's castle.
Hmm.
Amazing.
No. Um, but yeah, so you guys take your map and let him to kind of shut
Yeah.
himself back in the back room.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. And like getting a little bit of a look back there, having gotten him to open the door for you, you do see it's a small living area as well as what seems to be a little bit of a workshop for him to like dry things out and make stuff because this is as much a ingredient shop as it is an actual apothecary.
Mhm.
But he's got a little bit of a setup back there that is mostly untouched by the damage. But you've got your very poorly drawn map and very poorly drawn tree to look out for, and I'm guessing are heading approximately west slash southwest. You're gonna take the
Hey,
western
hey,
road.
hey. Guess where we're going, Thorn?
Where are we going?
We're going into the woods.
We're going into the woods. Before we do that, you said there were fireflies
Yeah,
flying around, right?
yeah.
I will use my intellect and influence swarm to have them kind of act as like a little like flashlight for us. Just kind of
Okay.
like to
And
guide
just
us
light the
through.
way. Okay, very
Yeah,
cool.
just
Cool.
kind of like
Yeah.
the way.
Very easily like they're just kind of lingering at the edges away from where
Hmm.
there's a lot of traffic, where there's a little bit of overgrowth, not like massively overgrown, but a little
Hmm.
bit of overgrowth. They've just kind of wandered in, and you manage to summon a nice little swarm of them, and they are like blinking around you, and it doesn't provide a lot of light, but it does provide some
It
as
provides
you.
Yeah,
ambiance.
it's
Yeah.
considering
Super
that
ambiance.
we're about
Yeah.
to enter the forest at night. I
Oh
figured,
yeah. Yeah. And
anything helps.
yeah. And Bongo did not try to take the oil lantern because it belongs under the counter. So if Vrak wanted to, Vrak could have easily acquired the lantern as needed.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you do
Absolutely.
have light in addition to that. So you've got like the ambiance of the little flickering firelights all around you and
I think
the
Vrack is silver-tongued enough to talk Bongo into lending it to us, because that means that we have to come back to give it back, and then we'll help be like, hey, hey, you'll let us have this, right? Because then, like, we have to come back to give it to you, and then we'll like help you fix up the store and stuff when we bring it back, right? So, like,
I
best way to
guess
make sure that we come back.
I guess so.
Cool. You're the best, Bongo. The best. Anyway,
Yeah.
bye.
Yeah. But yeah, so heading out into the forest via the west road, go ahead and give me a navigation check. Are either of you trained in tracking, navigation, anything like that?
Yeah, that's what I'm best at.
Anything skills that would apply to this whatsoever?
I can spend an XP to do a
Ooh,
serendipitous
you're an
landmark.
explorer.
Okay.
I
Um,
rolled a 15, but I may be hindered if I'm
But
having to remember
let me
anything.
roll first before I spend
okay.
that
Okay.
XP. That was an 18 on the
18.
dice.
So yeah, you are able to fairly easily catch where the more easily walking path type of trail would be, because it is taken by Bongo on a regular enough basis to visit his relatives, that it would have to be fairly easily traversed because he's not a big guy. And it was also recently traversed by a somewhat short wolf man. Um, but yeah, so you
I imagine Brack is annoyed by the branches that are too tall,
yeah,
and they're like constantly just like pushing stuff out of their way,
oh
getting
yeah,
their guitar snarled up and having
oh
to
yeah,
curse and swat the branches aside
yeah,
because they're
because
literally almost twice as tall as Bongo.
yeah, they're very short and very scrawny, and even
Annoying
yeah,
being
and
this tall.
even Senor Fluffington is maybe 5 feet tall. So like barely a foot taller than Bongo, which is something to think about, honestly speaking. Um, but yeah, just kind of walking through the woods at night,
It's a
fireflies
campfire.
flickering around you. It's actually, other than the fact that you are in fairy tale land, almost kind of romantic to have like the
Yeah.
fireflies and going on an evening walk in the woods, and not exactly Vrak's like vibe, but it's totally something that Thorn would at least notice.
If this was the
Yeah.
real world, this would be romantic AF.
Oh yeah,
Right now, Rack is just cursing under their breath as branches
Hmm.
slap them in the
oh yeah.
face and like looking over their shoulder for whatever monster is going to eat them in the dark woods.
But yeah, it's nice. It's peaceful. You occasionally hear like the call of some sort of night bird of some kind. It's very nice. This close to White Castle is going to be mostly peaceful. You're not going to encounter a lot of like monsters or threats out in the woods, as far as you are aware, which you'd be somewhat aware of some of the more major kingdoms of fairy tale land, Thorn, from your aunts and from your time here and your preoccupation with fairy tales and such.
Hmm.
So you would have at least heard of the kingdom of the Whites. Snow White is a couple generations back, actually, so she's no longer around. But this is the same kingdom from that line. You also know
The
that White
forest.
Castle is predominantly a summer castle because Snow White married into the royal family of the prince that had saved her. So it was kind of abandoned after they killed that particular evil stepmother. Um, but yeah, so
Slash
it's
witch.
yeah. But yeah, so wandering through the woods, the occasional flicker of something above that Thorn is able to identify as a bat or two.
Hmm.
It's peaceful. quiet. You're not sure if you're really going in the correct direction. You have no compass or anything, and you don't really have the sun to guide you. With the amount of like greenery overhead, getting an idea from navigating from the stars, not that easy, but you think you're going in the correct direction.
You are the ranger after all.
Yeah. If we get stuck, I know where to go, actually. So
You actually also even see a couple of broken branches that indicate the passage of someone else. Because Senor Fluffington has never been particularly subtle with their movements. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, hour, 2 hours pass. It's well into night. The oil lantern is starting to get fairly low. Roll for luck.
Oh no. That was another nat 20.
Oh, that's good because I only rolled an 8.
Very good. Very good.
That's a good nat 20.
Yeah, I know.
Very well timed. You did manage to take the correct path. You're not just tracking Senor Fluffington, but Senor Fluffington, because I had puppeting rights from Joel, rolled a 19 on their navigation.
Oh.
So made it all the way to the tree and remembered the description of the tree and has just kind of been sitting there for the past however many hours staring at it, not able to remember which direction to go or what right and left really is.
Vrak's heart goes out to them because they would be in the same position.
Yeah, so they're just kind of sitting there in that same kind of, which Vrak, you very much recognize this from when you had scryed on Senior Fluffington, that kind of just sitting there in waiting mode, just staring at the tree and occasionally looking in one direction and looking the other direction.
Aww.
Oh.
At some point, if there was a nice big stick by the side of the path, Vrak would have grabbed it and used it as a walking stick.
Yeah.
But now they're like, "Hey, Fluffy! Fluffy!"
Vrak?
And they'll hold it over their heads and go, "I found you a good stick!"
Vrak! Stick! And he like turns around and like charges at the two of you.
Perfect.
You being the one that is generating the excitement and holding up the stick are the one that gets tackled.
Absolutely.
Please give me a might defense if you are holding your stance, or a speed defense if you are trying to dodge getting tackled by a 5-foot tall wolf dog.
Ooh, 14.
14
speed defense.
Speed, so you're dodging. All right, so yeah. He like jumps at you and you're just like, stick, and then you slip out of the way. You just turn and it like lands on the ground in front of you. Turns around.
Yeah.
You came! I was trying to find you and I got lost a little bit and I got here and there was the tree and it kind of looks like a big fat man and I don't know what right is. But is it what direction? And I don't know where to go. And there was the little man, and he was very scared. And I was trying to be nice, but I couldn't find Thorn when I woke up. And I sat there and I waited because I am a good boy, and I couldn't find her. But she came, and then I went down the stairs, and the person at the big counter that is like the bad place. I don't like the bad place. He said that Thorn was going to the other place. And I don't know where that is. But there was the map, and the Thorn was going to read the map to go to the other place. So I tried to find the map, but I couldn't find the map. So I asked, and then I'm here. I am here now. And you are here now.
We say the other place? Like when Thorn or me says the other side, we mean like the place where your dog, like, you know, not here.
But I'm
Pedro is.
but I am a dog.
Yeah,
But like
yeah,
going,
but we're referring to like where you're at home with Pedro and
we
Well,
can't talk.
Pedro's good.
yeah,
Yeah,
I can talk
yes,
there.
yes.
I talk there,
That's what we mean by the other side, the
yeah,
other place.
I talk there.
But people are dumb and they can't understand you.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
Hmm.
yeah.
And that's where we're going to end for the night,
Good.
with you guys
Perfect.
reunited at the
Aw,
big tree. Um, Hopefully, you will remember which direction you need to go
I don't.
next time
I
when we
will.
pick up in 2 weeks. Um, but yeah, so you have reunited with Senor Fluffington over a day, almost a day and a half,
We will
from
get
where you
Joel next time to
guys.
roll to see if Fluffy
Yeah,
noticed, because dogs aren't good at time.
yeah, because it's probably around 11 or so at night by the time you manage to catch up
Call it
to
a
Senor
day.
Fluffington. Yeah,
Good.
yeah. So it was, you guys, with that nat 20, definitely caught up with Senor Fluffington, and your major effect was that Senor Fluffington didn't just pick
Was
a
better.
random direction.
Yeah, that would have
Thank
been a problem.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We get
I
real
was like, I
emotions.
could
Fluffy
spend
isn't
one
there.
XP, but I'm also like, I tend to hoard all of my stats, so I'm just like, oh, I want to hold on to that.
Yeah. Hey,
Hmm.
you have ways to use them when they
Hmm.
come up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So you guys have made
Hopefully.
it. Congratulations.
Woo.
Um, but yeah, so let's go ahead and wrap for the evening. We're a little bit short on time, but we've got some stuff that we're all doing, and we came to a good spot for when Joel rejoins us. Um, let's start with Alina this time.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Alina. I am they, them. I've been playing Vrak and Seb, who are also they, them. You can find me online at alinapete.com or at alinapete at Blue Sky Social, which is the place where I am mostly these days. It's the one social media that is usable. What have I been up to? I've been up to talking a lot to people in the real world, which is great. Doing lots of book tours, talking about stuff. Um, you can also find me every other Sunday on Empyrean Wilds, where I play our hippie tea dragon, Kale. Very, very different vibe than this character. They would hate each other. I
Very
cannot
different.
underline that enough. They would
Yeah.
hate each other.
Especially like Rising version Kale
Oh my
versus
god.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Good.
yeah. Yeah, Alina is very cool and did a TED talk and did book stuff, and you should totally check them out and go like watch their stuff and read their stuff
TED Talk
and
will be up
everything.
in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I have no idea when it's coming out. They got to edit it.
yeah, it's a thing. But it'll be out at some point, and you should watch it when it comes. So yes, Amanda.
Hello, everyone. I am Amanda, she, her pronouns. I have been Rosa and Thorn, also she, her. Find me most often at Panacabra on Blue Sky. That's where I tend to do most of my posting. I am actually starting up a like an accelerator for project management. So along with me trying to find a job, I'm also going to be like a real person with like a real job title soon
Hmm.
when I go do that. So yeah, if you need any like project management stuff on top of my usual like tech stuff, editing, anything else that I do, I feel free to hit me up about that. I also am here every other Sunday on Empyrean Wilds as Varen, the tattooed weird girl of the party. And if Varen and Thorn ever met in real life, they both just go nonverbal at the function, is basically how I
That
characterize
sounds
them.
about right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they would just like see each other and be overwhelmed,
Hmm.
just overwhelmed. Um, but very cool. Yeah, Amanda is awesome and does cool stuff. And if you need someone to help with that stuff, you should really hire her. Very, very cool person.
Yeah, link trees and the
Yes.
thing.
Link tree, like links for supporting the cast and seeing where else you can find them are in the description if you're watching on YouTube, or in chat if you are watching on Twitch or Moonbeam. Moonbeam does not hyperlink, so you will have to copy paste for that. But they are working on it. Remember, they are still in beta. But yeah, so I guess to wrap that up, I am Evie the Disaster GM. I'm the director of Altered Echo Archives. My pronouns are she, they, or any. I am our primary GM at the moment because we don't have other games running, though that is not out of the question for the future. I can normally just be found here or on like our Discord and stuff. Sometimes I go on social media, not super frequently. But I am also kind of guesting slash cast in a short series that is on Fusca's channel right now. Normally we air on Saturday evenings at the same time that Once Upon a Reflection runs. But this weekend, because of some stuff going on in real life, we are not actually going to be on Fusca's channel tomorrow. So catch us next week instead, which will be the day before our next Empyrean Wilds episode, where we are about to go into combat against some plants and shit. Yeah,
Good.
it's a thing. Fusca actually has her own command because has guested here
Oh,
and partners with the channel a little bit. Very cool. But so come check us out next weekend and follow the links in chat. You can also chat with us on Discord if you would like. Please note that if you join the Discord via the link, you will have to accept the rules to get a role and stick around. That is to protect us from bots and AI. But we would love to chat with you in either the Discord or our realm.
We also have playlists for various characters, which are very fun, and I use as my writing music. So, like, come check it out.
Yeah, it's all shared there. Check out our site as well. But yeah, so we will see you next time. For those of you on Twitch, stick around. I'm gonna find someone to raid. But we'll catch you later. Bye.
Bye.